go ahead, take the reins on the Sacramento Kings. Handful of moves that you guys have made, a couple of signings, and a trade. So what do you make of what Sacramento's done?
I'll just break it down by step by step. I read a ton of stuff after the draft about Devin Carter, and it's interesting to hear a lot of NBA analysis were really, really high on the pick by the Kings. A lot of people loved it. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. Looks like we did good there.
Yeah.
You move off of Sasha Vezenkov, who didn't want to be there,
Right.
and you move off of Davion Mitchell, who, as fierce as an on ball defender he was probably the worst rebounder in the NBA at like 1.4 a game. I think you could average more than 1.4 rebounds a game. And the problem is as fierce of a defender he was, he had no size and he had no length. And so Devin Booker would just raise up over him and make the shot. They trade him away for Jalen McDaniels, who I'm not sure is an NBA player. So it's really just a salary move, a cost-cutting move, and to free up the playing time for Devin Carter, which is cool. You bring back Malik Monk on a super team-friendly deal, which nobody thought we were going to be ever able to do, which is good because we're paying Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox a ton of money. Alex Len returns, which he's our best backup center option and a player that can thrive at 8 to 12 minutes a game. But frankly, the biggest move for the Sacramento Kings hasn't been done yet. They're all over Brandon Ingram. They're connected with Laurie, which I don't think will happen because of Danny Ainge. They're connected to Jeremy Grant. They're connected to Kyle Kuzma. Pretty much anybody out there on the trade market right now, the Barnes and Herter and a pick draft, it can be had.
Yep.
I think starting lineup next year of, Fox, probably Keon Ellis, because Monk is a superstar off the bench, a super scorer off the bench.
Yep.
Brandon Ingram, Keegan, and Sabonis is super interesting. Keegan at the 3 and Jeremy Grant at the 4 is super interesting. I don't really like Kyle Kuzma, and I know a lot of Kings fans do, but for me, it's really just, it was an A in the draft. I saw it's an A on Monk, but right now it's really just incomplete because the roster is not balanced and they need to bring in a starting level wing. And for the Kings, if they want to compete next year, if they want to grow into the top 4 in the Western Conference, if they want to be for the next 3 to 4 years, they're a lock to be top 6. It really just relies on Keegan Murray. It relies on him becoming, he took a step back offensively last year because he was our primary defender every night. He was guarding LeBron. He was guarding Steph, and he did that really well, but it sapped him a little bit on the offensive side. So if he takes his next step into what Kings fans want to tell you is the future of Kawhi Leonard's abilities to be a primary scoring option and a primary defender, then we could be really good next year. But frankly, I'm really hoping for us to mortgage our future here. Barnes, Herter, and a bunch of draft capital to go get the Ingram, to go get the Markkanen, to go get that next player that's really going to just, at least for the next couple of years, have us in the spotlight and in the playoffs, because fuck it, we deserve it. It's been a long 20 years here. So
I give you guys a B. Malik Monk is my highest rated free agent grade for like individual grade period. Just for the pure fact that it was huge that someone actually wanted to be in Sacramento. That's a big deal. And like you said, on a team-friendly deal on top of that. So, and then the move for Davion Mitchell and Sasha to move all salary dump stuff. This is in the hopeful preparation of bringing over a big superstar like a Brandon Ingram. So you move those two, obviously, like you already said, Herter, Barnes. Moving that salary opens everything up for you guys, and then bringing back Alex Len on a 1-year deal is fine. So I give you guys a teetering B plus, with the hopeful assumption that you guys get, that next level superstar. Even though I'm not a Kings fan, I have nothing rooting against the Kings at all. And I if I'm going to watch one team, not the Celtics, do well, it's probably going to be rooting for the Sacramento Kings outside of that. So again, that's the strong assumption that they that they can make a move for that superstar.
The hard part with the trades right now, it's pulling back from the Kings here, just going overall, is let's just take the Utah Jazz and the Pelicans. They have the 2 top biggest players available in Laurie and Brandon Ingram. But if the Jazz get on the phone and they call the Kings, or if they call Oklahoma City or whatever, like their first instinct is to ask for one of their young stars, Keegan or whatever the case may be. But the problem is that those players are not available. Like
Mm-mm.
you're not getting back a young star for Laurie. And so the Golden State Warriors are not trading Jonathan Kuminga for Laurie. That's not going to happen. So all these offers for Laurie, all these offers for Brandon Ingram are heavy pick centric, right? But if you're at the Utah Jazz and you trade Laurie Markkinen to the Kings for a whole host of picks and pick swaps and Harrison Barnes and Kevin Herter, you just catapulted, in my opinion, Fox, Monk, Murray, Markkinen, Sabonis. You just catapulted the Kings into a top 4 position in the West, hopefully, right? How good are those picks now? You have pick swaps, which aren't going to mean anything because the Utah Jazz are going to be shittier, so you're not going to be swapping picks. And now
Right.
these picks are all outside of the lottery. So the Jazz, the Pelicans, anyone that has a star to trade, the New York Knicks with Randall, these teams that are interested are trying to make this move to take the next step in their development to be a really, really good team. Pick swaps don't do shit for you.
Right.
And trading for their next couple of years picks don't do anything for you because they're not going to be bad. They're going to be
Right.
the teams aren't going to be bad. The picks are going to be bad. So it's just,
Right.
I think that's what the holdup is right now is like these players are available, but it's like, well, shit, all the packages suck because we're not giving up Kuminga. We're not giving up Keegan Murray. We're not
Yep.
giving up Jalen Williams. It's just not going to happen. So
Right.
you're going to have to take back a lot of picks, but those picks end up not, nobody gives a shit about a 25th overall pick. That doesn't mean anything.
No, not at
So
all. I totally get it.
That's just where free agency, where everything is right now, why it's tough because, it's kind of dry.
Yeah, absolutely.